good morning, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
and welcome to the Core Hour, sensible, sustainable solutions for our society and you. How's everybody feeling today?
Doing great. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Leslie's in the house from BPI. We got Ashlyn. We got Mike. Everybody's feeling great. We got Lee Hardy over there helping us out. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So, welcome to this lovely 19th week of 2015. Our Ma'at meditation for today is you should not falsely accuse anyone.
Okay, some of these are getting tough. Requiring a lot of self-reflection over here.
Falsely accuse. You hear that, son? You hear that, baby girl? Stop falsely accusing folks of things.
All right. Do you have like an example of that this week?
I got a lot of examples of that,
Okay.
actually.
I can think of a few.
You know, legislators, stop falsely accusing folks.
Now, thinking of this one, I had to think, okay, what is actually falsely accusing somebody?
Is there a definition for it?
So I had to look up the great Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia and Google have all answers.
Yes. And what does
So-
Wikipedia say
so we
about
have-
falsely accusing?
We have three types of false accusation. One is completely false in that the event didn't happen.
Can you have a false accusation that isn't false, though?
So you have another one.
Okay.
An accusation describing an event that didn't occur but was perpetrated by an individual but not the accused. Does that make sense? So saying, hey, this happened. You hit my car. My car was hit, but you weren't the person that hit my car.
Ah, so it happened. I just didn't do it.
You just weren't the one that did it.
But
I
you
said
think
you
I
it.
did, maybe because of the way I look? Or
I put you in the lineup.
or
and
maybe
I
I'm just on
pointed
your
you out.
list of folks who might have done something wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, I got
And then
it.
there's a third one, which is the accusation is partially true and false at the same time. So you mix true events with the false events. So you hit my car, maybe you did hit my car, and then you got out and you yelled at me and brandished a weapon. So part of that is not true.
I see.
Right.
This makes it pretty difficult, for a lot of folks. I think bottom line is don't lie.
Right.
Is that can we just wrap this up and just go ahead and say don't lie about stuff in general?
But I don't know if it's that simple, because somebody may say, oh, well, he did it and maybe he deserved it, and they may start embellishing on the facts. If I don't say this, then I won't get justice possibly. I'm just thinking of how somebody could possibly embellish.
So if it's, that guy or girl in the neighborhood who folks don't like already,
Could be.
and some stuff goes down, some graffiti got sprayed on the building, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And so folks just assume it's the guy or girl riding a skateboard who nobody really liked in the first place.
Right.
Right. So
That's false accusation right
it's
there.
false accusation. Let's keep it positive, folks.
Exactly.
Keep it positive, That's the only way that we're going to be able to pull this thing together. So we have a great, great show. I'm going to call this a special edition, folks, because as you may know, listeners, Core USA is focused on sustainable community development. And when we started our company back in 2010, energy efficiency and solar, renewable energy, and home performance was how we literally started our company. We started training contractors in what I like to call the art of efficiency. And so just efficiently, effectively dealing with folks' issues in homes and mostly small commercial buildings is the way we started. And so as I was looking around for organizations that could help us to determine the best course of action in addressing issues, I ran across many of them, okay? There are tons of organizations out there who offer different types of training and certifications and so forth. Some of them we've talked about on the show. We talked about leadership in energy and environmental design, which is a rating system by the U.S. Green Building Council. We talked about the Energy Star program, run by the Department of Energy. We talked about the National Association of Home Builders. Right? They have a rating system determining how green homes are. They have their green home certification. We have solar certification. So we have NABCEP, which now is working in tandem with IREC, or the Interstate Renewable Energy Council. So there are all of these different certifications, but none of them really seem to get to what I was looking for at that particular time. None of those seem to focus primarily on health, safety, comfort, durability, which I thought was critically important because I saw in my neighborhood and in other neighborhoods folks who owned 100-year-old houses, or sometimes a 20-year-old house, unfortunately, that just is not performing. And because we were also at the time in Louisiana operating under the 2006 Energy Code, which did not require duct leakage testing and home performance testing, I was really looking for an organization that could help me to teach contractors specifically about those things. And BPI, the Building Performance Institute, was the only organization that I could find at the time that was specifically working with contractors and third-party verifiers on work scope development, on talking heavy building science stuff. So if you want to know why that front room that you like to sit in during the summertime, why it's always hot, even though you just got a new air conditioner, BPI is the organization you need to talk to.
Okay.
If you are trying to figure out why you keep sneezing in this new house that you just bought, BPI is probably an organization that can talk about that too. And BPI certified contractors understand the systems in a home more so, in my opinion, than other contractors who are certified with other credentials. And so I'm going to keep tooting that horn, but let's turn it over to the pro, Miss Leslie McDowell. Did I say that right?
You sure did.
Is that Irish? What is McDowell?
It's Scottish originally,
Scottish,
but that is a married name. That is not my.
Oh,
that's not my birth.
Okay. Well, my meditation is don't overstep your boundaries of concern, and so I'm just going to stay out of that. Thank you for coming, Leslie.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. All the way
from our nation's capital.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. So let's jump right into this, if you don't mind.
I'd be happy to.
The Building Performance Institute. Tell us, why is the Building Performance Institute here? Where did it come from? And what are you up to?
Sure. So the Building Performance Institute, everybody refers to us as BPI. We are a nonprofit organization. We've been around for 22 years. And our whole mission in life is to help people live more comfortably in their homes while saving money and energy. And so rather than talking about just energy efficiency upgrades, we talk about about whole house home performance, how your home performs. Our mission is to help people live more comfortably, save energy, make your houses healthier and safer to live in, and more durable. And unlike some of those other organizations you mentioned, we do not certify the house or the building. We certify the workforce to ensure that they've got the knowledge, skills, and abilities to get this work done right. We like to say that we're not competing with each other. We're not competing with other credentialing organizations. We're competing with Bubba in a truck. Right? The guy who's out there. The guy who's out there swearing up and down that he can save you 50% off your energy bill, your utility bill, and he's going to replace your windows and everything's going to be great.
But he's got an F-250 pickup truck. So,
and it sure looks good.
I mean, with all those decals on it, he must be doing something, right?
Right. He sure is. He's loading up on those stickers. Stickers are good for kindergartners, but maybe. Right. So we are the standard setting and credentialing organization for the home performance workforce.
That's got to be a tough job.
Well, we got a lot of wonderful people in the industry that volunteer. These are experts in building science and energy efficiency, in heating and cooling, who work to develop our standards, to understand the latest in building science, to understand how a home works, the physics of how heat and cooling affects moisture in the home.
Moisture is a big deal down here.
Yeah, moisture is a big deal, absolutely. And to develop the standards for getting this work done right. And then from those standards, we develop the exams, both written exams and hands-on field practical exams that people take after they get training in building science. We've got 170 training organizations around the country that prepare people for our exams. And then once they're prepared, they take this written exam, the field exam, and when they pass, they are BPI certified. And that's what homeowners should be looking for.
Not only are they BPI certified, but a lot of them start out in getting certified, working for various companies, and then they become entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. Right, and so we have what's called the BPI Gold Star Contractor Program, which is a company-wide credential recognizing excellence by the whole contracting company who is dedicated to following BPI standards in all of the energy upgrade work that they do in your home.
Okay. Well, I heard you probably use the word energy and energy efficiency a few times.
Right.
And for beginners, a lot of them hear like the term, we need to go green, or we need to be sustainable. And it seems like BPI prioritizes energy efficiency.
Right.
Can you talk about, is that the case? And if so, why is that the case?
So basically, do people have to have solar to be green, or, are there other ways to green your home?
Sure. Solar is great. We love solar, but what our motto is efficiency first. In fact, there's a trade association for the workforce called Efficiency First, which is lobbying on Capitol Hill to bring energy efficiency across the nation.
Now, what for our novice listeners, novice to this field of energy efficiency, what do you mean by energy efficiency?
Sure. So rather than just conserving energy, which people often think of when they think of energy efficiency, so conserving energy is just turning off the lights, turning down the AC, and maybe changing your behavior. Energy efficiency is keeping your behavior the same, but making improvements to the home and the structure so that you can have the same level of comfort and the same level of use but using less energy to do it. So you're using your systems in the home more efficiently.
And some of the ways that's done is from sealing the cracks around the windows and doors.
Absolutely. So other trade associations, wonderful trade associations, might focus on one thing or the other, such as the heating and cooling system, the air conditioning system, and how to put that in properly. They might focus on putting insulation into your home, so you're preventing cracks and gaps and AC from escaping from the home. The Building Performance Institute, our mantra and the training that's provided is all about whole house as a system. So rather than looking at one system or another, or just replacing windows or just throwing in a new AC system, we look at how all of those things interact to maximize the energy savings and to maximize the comfort at the least cost for the homeowner.
Awesome. Well, listeners, if you still have questions, as you have questions, we're going to have Leslie here on the show in our special edition. on, let's call it American comfort, because the ACI conference is in town. We'll probably talk a little bit about that. If you have questions, though, this is a once in maybe a year opportunity here. Leslie's in town for the conference. And so call in to 504-260-9265 if you have questions about building performance here on the show. Again, that number is 260-9265. Callers if you have questions. So we were starting to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship and talking a little bit about the contractors who are participating in these programs. I'm starting to see some incredible numbers in terms of the amount of money that the federal government is spending on weatherization programs, on solar and renewable energy, and on the Energy Star program itself is just an amazing comprehensive program. Folks like Enterprise Green Communities, the Enterprise Foundation, they focus on affordable housing, and now they've decided that they will not consider a home an affordable green home unless it meets the Energy Star certification requirements. And that's a big deal, because now it seems as though folks are trying to put systems in place to level the playing field and make demystify, if you will, energy efficiency and sustainable building technology with these various scores and rating systems that have point systems that you can actually look at and say, this is why this home is green, or this is why this home is performing well. So you have, for instance, the blower door and the duct blaster. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know you guys have a new certification that just came out specifically for blower door and duct blaster. Can you talk a little bit about why that's important?
We just introduced a new credential. It's called the IDL certification, which stands for infiltration and duct leakage. Yeah, I know that sounds just fascinating.
That's very creative.
But it works. It's a handy credential because unlike our other credentials, which are full house as a system, comprehensive credentials, verifying that you know how the whole house works as a system, this credential is focused on a very specific task, which is to measure the air infiltration into the house and air infiltration in the duct system of the house, the ventilation going into your house. So training for that certification is training you how to conduct a blower door test, and how to do an air duct leakage test. It's just specifically those two tests which prepare people to meet demand from home builders. Home builders need to have these two tests on the new homes that they build to meet IECC codes. Code compliance for energy codes.
And IECC
is International Energy Conservation Code. So there's particular standards when you're building a new house. It can't be a drafty, leaky house. When you're building new houses, it has to meet a certain standard. And so to measure that, to verify that standard has been met, the IECC code calls for a blower door test and a duct leakage test. And so the IDL certification that we introduced make sure you know how to do that. It shows the home builder that you've got the knowledge and the skills to perform those tests, and you can go out and offer that to home builders.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. Here in New Orleans and maybe other places in Louisiana or around the Gulf South, people are living in historic homes. You know, their home may be 100 years old. So are there steps that they can take for their home, let's say if they're renovating a house? Also, some people have been told, these homes were built without air conditioning. If you do things such as, seal these around these windows, you can make a home too tight.
Are we going there?
That's a common worry, and it's understandable and it's a good worry. By the way,
even engineers are saying that your house needs to breathe, right?
But here's the thing about it. And by the way, the homes here, these old homes are beautiful. I admire them. I mean, we all love these homes. It's not anything against a 100-year-old home, but they do have problems. So what we like to show is that people often think you've got to have a leaky house in order to guarantee fresh air. Mm-hmm. But in fact, what many people don't realize is that air is coming in through the crawl space. Generally speaking, it's coming in through the crawl space under the basement where there's a lot of cavities of some really gross stuff.
I mean, the rodents.
The rodents, the dander, the moldy insulation that may be down there, some just really horrible stuff that's trapping microbes and bacteria. And this is the stuff, the air is going through all of that, circulating throughout the house, and then gets circulated down into an air filter that then filters it after you've breathed it in order for it to go around again. So what we like to say is once
that doesn't sound sustainable to me.
Once you tighten up the home, then you have an opportunity to introduce proper ventilation, mechanical ventilation, that guarantees you're getting air from where you trust, fresh air.
And what's interesting is that it's not just BPI that's been saying that. The Department of Energy, I remember years ago, funded that Cash for Caulkers program, where the whole point was to seal your house, and they even came up with the slogan, right? Seal it tight, ventilate it right, was the slogan that they came up with. And I don't remember how many years ago that was, but that was a long time ago. So this is an ongoing conversation that people have been having, yet there are still professionals, not certified by BPI, who believe that a house does need to have that outside air seeping in through the wall cavities, seeping in through the floors.
You don't want that.
It just doesn't sound to me. And folks, I'm talking about engineers. I'm talking about architects. I'm talking about folks who are professionals in the industry with licenses and insurance and bonds. They're bonded and everything, but they don't know this specific piece of information. And in my opinion, the information that they're offering, that you should have a leaky home, is just incorrect. It's just totally incorrect.
And air coming in from all of these different cracks and gaps and attic and places that you just can't necessarily trust. It's many of these things are triggers for health problems, like triggers for asthma and respiratory sinusitis, all sorts of respiratory illnesses. And so the energy upgrades, one of the benefits of energy upgrades is to reduce these triggers that trigger asthma episodes, sending kids to emergency rooms and things. And we have actually, there are studies showing after these energy upgrades have been done in homes, showing reductions in emergency room visits, reductions in number of school days missed, reductions in parents having to stay home from work to take care of those kids. So there really are some major health benefits to these upgrades as well.
And that's awesome. And that that's a conversation as we talk about particularly the black community, as we talk about the conditions in which people live, living in substandard housing. Down here in the Deep South, we have a big problem with slumlord landlords. I know there are some slumlords up north as well. But with our climate down here, the hot, humid climate, having a slumlord who does not have a tight home to rent, that can cause all types of health problems. I know several people who have found black mold in their homes.
Oh, yeah.
And they tell their landlord about it, and the landlord basically says, I don't know what to do about that, and if you don't like it, you can just move out. And they can't move out because they're only paying $400 a month, and they can't, afford to get anything better. And so there has to be some money out there or something to help people make these improvements. I know that there is the WAP program.
Right, Weatherization Assistance Program, absolutely.
And that's a national program, right?
It's a national program. It's a great program. It's for low-income households. If the family is income qualified, they can get an energy auditor. The energy auditor has to be BPI certified to come in, do an evaluation of the house, work up a report on the improvements that will be appropriate for this, the specific unique challenges of that house or that unit. And then the work, the installation of the work is done and paid for through the Weatherization Assistance Program.
And so last I heard, not meaning to cut you off, but last I heard, I think the average per home spent in this subsidized program, government-funded program, all government money, is somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,000 to $8,000 per house on energy efficiency. And just being an energy efficiency contractor as well, $7,000 to $8,000 can go a long way.
Oh, yeah.
In improving the overall efficiency and performance of a home. We're talking, what can we get in with that? Insulation,
ceiling. You can get
probably get some light bulbs in there.
More an energy efficient air conditioning unit.
All types of things.
Right. Just higher efficiency, so the same air conditioning is happening, but it's just costing you a lot less.
Exactly, yeah. And I thought it was very important that you said you want to, if you want to have the same level of comfort or more,
right,
with lower energy bills, I mean, you can do it through these building performance improvements.
Right.
And not enough people I've seen in the industry and even at home are familiar with this. They're not educated about this. And so you have a website where homeowners can start to get some information about this and kind of dig in. And even I saw a tool, like a self-assessment tool that you have on your website. Can you tell us?
Absolutely. This is brand new. We just launched this in March. You go to www.bpi.org. That's B for boy, P for Paul, I for igloo, bpi.org. And there's all kinds of information on what home performance is and how it can help. We have resources on there. There's a website called Desire USA where you can find financing programs and rebates and incentives and low interest or no interest loans.
That's a very important website, and that's Desire without the E, folks. That's DSIRE.
Right. If you type that into Google, you'll find this website. And it breaks it down by state, the resources and rebates and loans and things that you can use to get this work done. And we have that information on our website as well. But if you go to our website at bpi.org, there's a tool on there that you can type in your address. It's called the Home Energy Quiz. You type in your address, and then you just go through a few very simple steps. And it will give you an estimate of how much energy and savings, monetary savings, you can get by bringing in an energy auditor and then getting this energy upgrade work done. So it's not written in stone. It's an estimate online from the information that's pulled from public record. So you really need to get an energy auditor in there to make to verify what's going on. But it's a helpful tool to give people an idea.
And so when they go through that tool, they can click find an energy auditor.
Right.
And does that send sort of a request to different energy auditors, or does that just pull up a list of
It'll take you to our locator tool where you type in your zip code and you can find BPI Gold Star contractors near you or companies with BPI certified individuals near you. And then you can call them up and schedule an appointment.
Exactly. And one thing you haven't mentioned yet, but I think is quite different in your organization versus the other organizations we spoke of, is the quality assurance component.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, if you're going to be a BPI certified individual, you have to go through not just the continuing education,
right.
But you also have to perform a certain amount of work every year, and some of that work, if you're a Gold Star contractor, needs to be QA'd.
Well, that was true. It's interesting. We've changed the program.
Oh, okay.
Our old company-wide credential was called the BPI Accredited Contractor Program, and it had what you're mentioning, a QA component, quality assurance, on 5% of the jobs. So we would send out inspectors randomly on 5% of the jobs. And what we found was that we would come after a job was finished, and what had been a happy homeowner is suddenly a bewildered homeowner because we might find some little thing which this is like 4 or 8 weeks after the contractor leaves. Contractors suddenly
conditions
very
change.
Unhappy because they come back and they have to deal with a callback issue instead of a closed job issue. And we found that overall we weren't seeing a major increase in service improvement. It wasn't.
Okay.
This method wasn't really solving problems. It was just annoying a lot of people.
Well, that was definitely an ambitious goal that you set out to do, is have this really comprehensive quality assurance program, but which caused more confusion.
It caused confusion, and most importantly, we want to be increasing service improvement and making sure this work is done right according to BPI standards. So what we did instead, our new BPI Gold Star contractor program introduces quality management system training at the front end. Mm-hmm. So we're approaching service improvement at the front end, training contractors in business management skills and customer service skills. There's technical training available to them through online simulation that they can revisit anytime to really help them prevent problems rather than after the fact going back and trying to correct things.
Awesome. BPI bringing you the sustainable solutions, y'all. We got to go to the break. I know you hear the flute music. That's White Buffalo. Beautiful song, Native American song. We're going to go right into the break. We'll be back in a few with Leslie McDowell of the Building Performance Institute. See you soon.
Hello, open line.
WBOK, New Orleans.
Welcome back to the show, The Core Hour, sensible, sustainable solutions for our society and you. We're here with Leslie McDowell of the Building Performance Institute. And again, our call-in number is 504-260-9265. On the second half of the show, I want to talk about small business and economic development and jobs and youth development within this framework. I have a couple of young women. One of them is Raven, who is one of our first interns at Core USA. And Raven is working on getting her GED. She's working on, getting herself on track. She's 22 years old and has never worked in construction, never worked in energy efficiency, never worked in solar, anything like that. Actually, I think this might be her first solid job opportunity. And so we are engaging folks like Raven through our Core Explorers program, which is in partnership with the Boy Scouts of America, Boys and Girl Scouts of America, to give them some career experience in sustainable building technology and community development. And so Raven is wide-eyed. She's just a sponge. She's soaking it all in. I'm sure sometimes she gets overwhelmed, but the framework that we use in teaching energy efficiency is the BPI framework. And so we've taught about 250 people over the course of the 5 years we've been in business. And I just see home performance specifically as what is oftentimes referred to as a potential pathway out of poverty. It's something that people, in my experience, learn pretty quickly because it affects them. So as they're sitting in the classroom thinking about how they're going to learn this stuff that's on the test, they're also able to say, okay, I'm going to learn about conduction and convection and radiation, which are the three types of heat transfer, because now when I go home, I know why that front room is hot, right? It's hot because the sun is shining in, and that's radiation. The sun's shining in through the window, direct light, that's radiation. That's why I'm warm. Also, it's leaky, right? The window is leaky, and so air is coming in, and through convection, right? The air is making me hot as well. And then if you touch the window is hot. And so conduction is also playing a part in the home being warm or the room being warm. And so I find that just, it makes it a little easier and accessible because the folks who are in these classes are able to say, yeah, I experience this at home all the time. It's not like some foreign thing that's hard for them to wrap their head around. So, from what I've seen so far, and we've gotten a lot of folks certified, after these people get certified, they are easily able to find a job. Or at least that's been the way it's been over the last maybe 5 to 7 years that I've seen. I really don't know anyone who is BPI certified who does not currently have a job or at least a gig. I literally don't know any. If you have a BPI certification and you're unemployed right now, please call in to the show, 504-260-9265, because I don't want to overspeak here, but we've trained a lot of folks down here. Right. And the more and more I look at this, I'm saying, man, every single person I know who is certified has a job or at least can find some way of getting a gig to make some money, which not everybody can say. So I'm seeing this as a big opportunity for folks like Raven, and even folks like Erin Rigsby, who Erin Rigsby is quite interesting. She is 26. Erin graduated from Howard University with a degree, I want to say, in business. She also is at Tulane University right now. And Erin, those damn overachievers. She is getting her MBA, Master's in Business Administration, and at the same time, she is getting her law degree.
Is that it? No PhD in there?
Erin need to step her game up. Seriously, she's doing all of these things, right? And so recently, Erin applied for an internship. I won't say where because I'm upset at them. Because they didn't hire her for an internship.
Wow.
And Erin, like I said, graduated from Howard, MBA candidate, law student. I would think that's the ideal intern for working at an energy company, which is what this company is.
Maybe she needs IDL certification.
Maybe she needs IDL. But, is that your experience? I mean, 5 people were given internships at this particular organization, yet Erin didn't get accepted. And I'm just wondering, I wanted to go somewhere, I ain't going to go there. I'm just wondering, what is it with women in the construction industry? Why is it that, the women seem to have increasingly more credentials because, even real estate agents, look at real estate agents. Women in real estate are killing the game. No matter how you dice it, they're able to move quickly and get things done efficiently and so forth, but they still have to fight for that presence and they have to fight, it seems, harder than us, than males. And so I'm just wondering, Leslie, have you experienced that, and how is BPI kind of, is the credential at BPI kind of helping women who do get certified to say, no, I'm just like you?
What I've found in the home performance industry, overwhelmingly, the folks in the industry are trying to attract women. You mentioned the Affordable Comfort Conference, which is here in New Orleans this week. For example, they have a program called Women in Home Performance that encourages women to come on and learn about the the building science behind home performance, learn about the credentials, learn about the opportunities. And there are some fantastic women who are energy auditors and retrofit installers and who have earned our credential and who are tearing it up in this industry.
Oh, yeah.
But nevertheless, though, there are the traditional thing with the building trades in general. Women have not traditionally gone into the field. So right now, I would say about 10% of our certified professionals are women. We're always trying to raise that. Certainly, all of our training organizations are out there trying to bring both men and women in to train about the job opportunities and the training opportunities in home performance. So women are definitely being encouraged into this field.
And we also have a black woman, the Honorable Ladoris G. Harris. We call her Dot Harris. And Dot Harris is the director of the Office of Economic Impact and Diversity with the Energy Department. And so I remember Dot Harris came down here, and it's her job to go out and try to recruit women and minorities in this industry. And she is very passionate about doing so. So I know that there are initiatives out there to try and increase the amount of women in the industry and also try to give them the tools they need to be at or even go beyond where, their male counterparts are.
And you mentioned the real estate industry, which is interesting because we recently introduced a program, the BPI Home Energy Rater program.
Yes.
Which we use the Department of Energy's Home Energy Score. Mm-hmm. It's an energy score of a home that it's a very simple range from
it's
a score.
Like a 1 through 10.
Yeah,
right?
It's 1 through 10. There are other scores out there. This score, basically, the rater, the BPI rater, goes through the house, does an energy audit. It's a quick audit to evaluate the home and determine the energy efficiency performance of that home. They put the data that they get into a software modeling that comes up and generates this score. Score was developed by the Lawrence Berkeley Lab. It's an excellent tool for
smart guys over there.
Yeah, smart guys. It's an excellent tool for understanding the energy performance of the home and the potential for improvements of the home. So if your house is close to a 10, that means your house is very energy efficient and is performing great. If your house is closer to a 1, it means there's lots of room for energy improvements. Awesome. And the real estate, so what I was getting at is the real estate community is beginning to really show interest in this tool as a means to another way to evaluate a home and for buyers, specifically for home buyers. So real estate professionals are looking at this tool. It's beginning to be added to the MLS when people are buying a home.
That recently happened here, actually.
Right. They're
looking about that on the show.
A field added to the MLS to show the energy efficiency of the home. And we're trying to get the home energy score on MLSs all around the country. It's on in Colorado, in Connecticut, and a number of other
we have
areas.
to check for that because I don't know if they included the home energy score. But we literally, within the last 12 months, literally just got the MLS approved. Actually, it might be in the last 6 months. We just got the green boxes on the MLS approved. Right. And so our the Green Realtor certification that is offered by NOMAR, we've been teaching within that program. We have a CLE for real estate agents, CLE, a continuing education opportunity for real estate agents. I believe it's 8 credit hours out of the 12 required. We can do 8 of those credit hours in sustainable building technology.
Very cool. And
so you're right. I mean, this new information is out there, new technology, new rating systems that really make it clear. If your home is performing and you get an energy audit, that score will tell you, it will confirm for you that, yes, your home is performing. Yeah. If you believe your home is performing the best it can, and you haven't gotten an energy rating, I'm telling you now, there's no way you can know if your home is performing at the level it has the capacity to do. Right? You actually need to have a professional come out and take a look at things and collect data Not just do a walkthrough, okay, but actually collect data, put it into a computer system, and let that computer system tell you where you can get your biggest bang for your buck in improving your home's performance.
That's right. Along with the score, it comes with a prioritized list of improvements of the most cost-effective to the least cost-effective improvements. And so you can go through the list specific to your house and look at the improvements that can be made to make that house go from, say, a score of a 4 or a 5 up to a score of an 8 or a 9.
I hope y'all are listening, contractors, because I'm going to tell you what. If y'all contractors don't get on board with this, it won't be long before y'all are going to be out of business in terms of home improvements, okay?
So what if a contractor's sitting out there and they say, well, this sounds great. I'm interested in one of these certifications. How long are they looking at, between studying and taking the test and being certified?
So there are training organizations.
We got Eric on line 3, y'all, so we're gonna chime into that in a second. Let's answer the question.
Sure. So people can find the training organizations on our website at www.bpi.org. They can go to the pros site, the industry pros site, find a training organization near them. To get that training, generally for our major technical credentials, it's about a week's worth of training, give or take, some days. And then they take the exam, and then when they pass, they become BPI certified.
Okay, we got Eric on line 3. Eric?
Hey, God bless you. How you doing?
How you doing, Eric? What you got?
All right. Good talking to you. Say if you get your house assessed for energy efficiency and then make the necessary adjustment or changes, how much on average does it increase the resale value of your home, if you could take a wild guess? I guess it depends on the house and the situation, what needs to be done. But
yeah, the people who are all smarter than me, they don't like to take a swing at that answer just because there's so many other variables that go into it. Obviously, the location and the age. And the aesthetics and whether it's got that granite countertop that everybody loves.
Eric, those numbers are all over the place. The energy ratings that we've done. Some improvements, on a leaky house that has no insulation, when you make improvements, those improvements are going to be exponentially higher than, say, a new construction that already has insulation and stuff, and you're just making small improvements to that house. You know what I mean?
But Eric is right that's what we're trying to get at with the home energy score, is to begin to compile this data and have comparable data house to house. Eventually, as more homes get scored, you begin to see how the market is valuing the energy efficiency improvements that are made to homes. So you've got a home that's very much like another home in the neighborhood, right? 3-bedroom house, same location, great school. But one's a 4 and needs some energy improvements, and the other one's a 9 and is a really great house in terms of energy efficiency. How much more is the other one selling for? And then you can begin to, once we get more data in, we don't have enough data yet. When we get more in, we begin to understand what the value of those improvements are.
And that data comes from folks actually listing when they sell a home, folks actually listing what certifications they have, what their home energy score is, there's another one called a home energy rating. So what the home energy rating is, they can actually disclose that information in the multiple listing service on that disclosure form now. And what buyers like yourself and others need to start doing is actually asking for that score and saying, I don't even want to make an offer until I know what that score is. Or I want to make this offer to purchase that building conditioned upon the HERS score and knowing the performance of the home, which is different, by the way, than just getting a home inspection, because a lot of home inspections do not have that home energy rating or home energy score attached to the home inspection. So that's something you have to ask for separately right now. Some places, like I think in Austin, as well as Portland and some other places, they are now requiring, when you sell a home, you are now required to list your home's performance, your home's energy performance, the HERS rating score or otherwise. And so we need to have something like that down here, because I can tell you now, there are countless people. I used to be a real estate agent here. I was an agent for 10 years. And there are countless numbers of people who go out to buy a home, right? And you know you're going to buy the biggest home, the best home in the best location you can find, right? So let's say you qualify at a high end for $200,000, right? Well, when you move into that home, in the first month, you get that energy bill, that might price you out. You didn't expect to get that $500 energy bill or whatever it is. And so if we can have it required that if you're listing a home, now you have to get an energy rating, then that buyer and the bank who is financing that buyer has a better picture of what the home's cost of living is going to be. You know, it's really important information. I hate to keep diving into that, but I'm very passionate about it because I see over and over again people buying these great houses that look great, but then when they get inside, you know, leaky air conditioning, leaky walls, and they can't understand why they now have allergic reactions to things they didn't have allergic reactions to in the past, and it's because, you know, a lot of these homes are just not as healthy as they could be.
Absolutely. And your point about the lender, the bank lender, how important this information is for them, because if you are looking at a house and it's, you know, a better efficiency house, it's a higher up on that scale. The lender sees that your monthly payment, I mean, how much you're paying in utility bills is going to be a lot smaller than other people. And then you can actually afford, they can afford to, you know, a smaller down payment or whatever, that you can afford more house monthly on that monthly mortgage bill that you've got. So
and to
it's
that
important
point,
information.
To that point, the government also has energy efficient mortgages. And if you're interested in energy efficient mortgages, we can talk more about that at Core USA. You can call us at 504-298-9556. These energy efficient mortgages, and they offer them with, you know, the VA also has their own program for energy efficient mortgages. But you can qualify for up to, I think in Orleans Parish right now, I want to say it's like a little over $13,000 in extra money that is insured by the government that you don't have to income qualify for if you use that money for energy efficient improvements to the home that you're purchasing. So with that, go ahead, Eric.
The average buyer, do they appreciate what you're talking about, and are they willing to pay for a more energy efficient home? Or do you have to educate the average buyer about that, and therefore they'd be more willing to pay for a home that's been, you know, remediated?
It depends on who you're talking to. Folks in California actually have data that shows, last time I checked, I want to say it was like, you know, 12% or something on average. But that, again, is California. And we don't know what circumstances led them to that number. So in New Orleans, we literally just launched the green fields in the multiple listing service. And so what folks are doing, what appraisers and the Appraisal Institute, for instance, is doing, is looking at the data that's produced from the multiple listing service. And they're saying, okay, this house sold and it looks cookie cutter to this other house in the same block, and one sold for more money, and the one that sold for more money had solar panels on it. You see what I mean? So, but it's going to take some time for them to collect and compile all that data, crunch the numbers, talk amongst themselves, and then come out and hopefully publish a white paper saying this is approximately how much more money you can get from having the greener home. Is that about right?
That's about right.
That's
Absolutely.
about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, there.
Thank you, Eric, for calling in.
Uh-huh.
So, again, we got about 4 minutes left. And, you know, we always try to talk about sustainable solutions. I personally believe that building performance and home performance is a sustainable solution for our communities, for, you know, the neighborhoods that, not neighborhoods, but for the community members, the citizens, the entrepreneurs, the homeowners who are looking to find ways to, one, increase economic development opportunities in your community, There are the certifications that you can get to participate in home performance, in building performance in New Orleans. There are countless programs that you can participate in once you get certified. There's the Energy Smart program, right? The Energy Smart program is a local rebate program for energy efficiency. You get about 20 to 25% off usually of energy efficient improvements there in the form of a check, y'all. Okay. There's the property assessed clean energy legislation that's out there that recently got passed, and so
the PACE program.
The PACE program for short.
Program.
Excellent program where now you can make energy efficient improvements to your home, and rather than going out and getting a loan or using your cash, you can go ahead and borrow money from your tax assessment, right? And pay additional money every year to pay that back over the course of, I think it's like 20 or 30 years. So there's that. There are these energy efficient mortgages that people are getting, veterans are getting, home buyers are getting, qualifying for that additional $13,000. And in order for them to get access to that $13,000, they have to hire an energy rater who is certified, right? They have to work with contractors who are certified. And so if you want to be a part of that small number of contractors and professionals who are working in this industry, making all this money, and I know you see the commercials, right? I know you see the solar commercials. I know you see the energy efficiency commercials from the city and the state and the utility. If you want to be a part of that industry, then you need to check. What's the website again?
It's www.bpi.org, and you'll go to the homeowner site. You'll learn all about the benefits to homeowners, and then you can click through to the Industry Pros site, which is www.bpi.org/pros.
Perfect. Right. And we'll make sure to put all those links. We now have a Core USA YouTube page. So if you go to YouTube and search Core USA, you'll be able to find our videos, and we'll have all the links for our listeners.
So we usually end, Leslie, with Mama B usually gives us a quote of the day. She's not here today. I told her we give her a shout out. Does anybody have a quote of the day they want to end with? I'm putting everybody on the spot.
Mama B,
let's just end with our Ma'at meditation principle again, which is, what is it again? It's y'all gonna make me look this up? Okay, I gotta do it right, y'all.
No, it's against false allegations.
Do not falsely accuse anyone of anything. Check your facts, y'all.
Right.
See you next week
Thank
on
you.
the Core Hour.